Welcome back to Turkish Series Stars, where we serve you the freshest updates and the most whispered secrets from the world of celebrity romance. Today, we need to talk about a development that has honestly left our entire team stunned and, judging by your messages, it's shaken you too. The headline says it all. The latest shock surrounding Barış Arduç and Elçin Sangu is setting social media ablaze. Yes, that Barış and that Elçin, the duo whose love story seemed written in light, are at the center of a storm no one expected. Get comfortable, because we're unpacking every breadcrumb, every clue, and every reaction that is circulating right now. And a quick reminder, if you haven't already, hit subscribe to Turkish Series Stars and ring the bell, because as you can see, the next big reveal can land at any moment. Let's roll back to where this all started, because the way it broke could have come from a series finale twist. November 7th, 2025. A date that began quietly and then detonated in headlines, trending tabs, and frantic threads, all pointing toward one couple, Barış and Elçin. For anyone new here, Barış Arduç is one of the most charismatic Turkish leading men of his generation, a force of nature on screen whose magnetic performances in shows and films have traveled far beyond Turkey's borders. And Elçin Sangu, an equally luminous star, has built a beloved career with roles that blend strength and vulnerability in a way only she can. Together, their chemistry first set screens on fire years ago, and over time it blossomed into a partnership that felt both aspirational and grounded. Fans adored them not just for their work, but for the warmth and grace they projected together. That's exactly why the whispers that erupted this week cut so deeply. The core of what's being murmured? An unexpected shift in their private world. Early leaks spread like wildfire across entertainment pages, fan forums, and the corners of social networks where every detail is analyzed. Those leaks point to a severe relationship strain and, more dramatically, to a decision that could change everything. The first wave of chatter mentioned escalating disagreements, a drifting apart, and the real possibility of an imminent separation. At first, many followers laughed it off as the usual noise. But as the ripples kept coming, and as silence from both sides continued, concern began to harden into dread. In the weeks leading up to November 7th, careful observers noticed a pattern that felt impossible to ignore. Appearances became rare. Photographs together dwindled. The playful likes and comments they'd exchange in public, those little winks that used to reassure fans, all but vanished. Now, we all know that both Barış and Elçin value their privacy. They never needed to parade their affection to prove it was real. But when a couple that adored engaging their audience goes quiet at the same time, that silence becomes its own kind of message. And then, without warning, came the explosion. On November 7th, 2025, what had been a swirl of rumors turned into a full-throttle media event. Sources close to the pair, speaking only on the condition of anonymity, began dropping specifics. Depending on whom you asked, the friction came from a professional decision that threw their timeline into chaos, or from clashing visions of what their next chapter should be. The loudest theory, the one echoing across timelines and timelines again, revolves around a huge international project. According to these whispers, Barış has been weighing a high-stakes film abroad, a role that would demand months away, maybe more. Some say Elçin didn't love the idea of a prolonged distance at this point in their lives, especially after years of chasing stories, sets, and schedules that already kept them apart more than fans knew. Others suggest that the pressure of constant attention, and the relentless pace of two top-tier careers, has taken its toll, leaving both to crave breathing room. There's a painful truth at the heart of all of this. They've been together for a long time by industry standards. Their love, celebrated in interviews and red carpets and gentle gestures when the cameras weren't even supposed to be rolling, has weathered enough storms that many assumed they were unshakable. But life under lights is not kind. It demands sacrifices, sometimes the very ones you least expect. And seasoned fans know that when two artists are this committed to their craft, the trade-offs cut both ways. What we do know, without any spin, is what the feeds show. No new shots together. Minimal overlap in their stories. Posts that feel carefully curated, almost cautious. Nothing that screams a break, yet everything that hints at distance. It's not proof, and everyone should remember that. But add that to the vacuum of official statements, and you have the perfect breeding ground for speculation. The fanbase, predictably, has split in two. On one side are the diehards who believe that love like theirs doesn't crack, it bends, fans who insist that this moment will become a footnote in a much bigger tale. They point to the tenderness we've seen, the years of mutual support, the harmony built through projects and the moments in between. On the other side are those bracing themselves for impact. They look at the pattern, fewer appearances, carefully worded captions, the vanishing digital flirtations, and see the writing on the wall. These fans, hearts already in their throats, are preparing for the announcement they never wanted to hear. What makes this hit so hard is the image they have cultivated, perhaps without even trying, not perfect, but committed, not performative, but quietly strong. From the first spark that flew on set years ago to the whispers of a wedding that fans turned into full-blown daydreams, Barış and Elçin felt like a promise kept. They became proof to many that storybook chemistry could survive scripts and schedules and the weight of expectation. So any hint that this promise might be faltering feels like watching a constellation dim in real time. Our team at Turkish series stars has been calling, checking, and cross-checking, hoping to ground the talk in something solid. So far, the official line is just that, official silence. It bears repeating that in this industry, details are often released strategically. Misleading ripples sometimes hide a surprise project, a rebrand, or just a personal intermission that never needed to be public. That said, the intensity of the murmurs around Barış and Elçin, and the way November 7th emerged as a flashpoint, suggests that the moment we're living through matters, one way or another. Could this be part of a campaign or a stealth promo for something new? A savvy misdirection designed to make us lean in? It's not impossible. But if you know how carefully both manage their image, you also know the danger in playing with a story this sensitive. Fanning talk of a break risks cracking the very trust that made people fall for them in the first place. And truthfully, the signs don't read like a game. They read like two people standing at a crossroads, trying to make the choice that honors their hearts and their work. Meanwhile, media outlets at home and abroad are sprinting to keep pace, publishing speculative takes as fast as new clues appear. Some revisit the known beats, the once frequent red carpet synchronicity, the sweep of their shared history, to argue for hope. Others stack timeline upon timeline, gesture upon gesture, to suggest farewell. If you need a recap, the shock that detonated on November 7th, 2025 centers on the possibility that Barış Arduç and Elçin Sangu are facing a serious turning point. Early reports, still unconfirmed but multiplying, say disagreements have surfaced, potentially sparked by a career opportunity that would take Barış far from home for an extended stretch, or by both feeling the exhaustion of living under a microscope while juggling major projects. What lends weight to the rumor mill is the subtle choreography of their recent public lives, fewer joined moments, muted online interactions, and no soothing statement to press pause on the panic. And yet, in the middle of all this, there's another truth worth holding. This couple has navigated attention with grace for years. They know when to step back, and they know when to speak. If this is a rough season, they could still pull through it. If it's something more definitive, they'll likely tell us in their own time and in their own way. Either way, the love people feel for them won't evaporate. It will simply change shape, the way every story does when it finds its next chapter. For now, the tension is real, the questions are echoing, and the eyes of millions are waiting for the smallest sign. A shared frame. A connected comment. A caption that says more than it seems to say. And while we wait, the only responsible path is to weigh what's visible, acknowledge what isn't, and resist turning rumor into fact. We promise you this, Turkish series stars will keep following every reliable clue and bring you clarity the moment it exists. Until then, tell us how you're feeling about the shock of this week. Do you believe this is just a passing storm or the beginning of something bigger? What would you say to them if you could, right now, in one breath that mattered? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because your voices are the heartbeat of this channel. If today's deep dive helped you piece together the puzzling silence, give this video a like, share it with friends who are refreshing their feeds just like you, and make sure you're subscribed to Turkish series stars with notifications on. We'll be here when the next development lands, ready to walk you through it, moment by moment, truth by truth, and always with the care this story deserves. Until the next update, keep your eyes open, your heart steady, and remember, sometimes the most important answers take a little time to arrive. And when they do, you'll hear them here first.